anyway, like I said, we're working through the budgets. We have 109 approved. If you have questions or concerns, please reach out to us. Where we went through the forms, that is actually on a webinar that we did. That's actually posted on the website now. It got posted this morning. So you can either go back and watch that webinar, or please feel free to call us here. And we can set up a short WebEx with you by phone. So I'm going to let Jerry in. She's going to go over the next item.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me, Patty?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I actually have a few things, and they're going to kind of go out of order here. We sent out an email recently, and I just wanted to go over that email that we sent out. We've gotten some questions on funding, and I think there's some confusion on some of the funding that we have and how we allocated it. So this is how the funding is working. So ARPA funds, which of course is that pandemic funding, the $17.5 million of that it says will be, I'm assuming is, or is in the process of being allocated to approximately 105 agencies. We believe that funding will be mostly spent down the first 2 quarters of 24, which is October, November, December, January, February, March, because the goal was to use that funding first and to use the rest of it first. And it shouldn't be more than 50% of the agency's total budget. So we did that intentionally to say, okay, if you get $100, like we want to give you right around $50 of this money so that we can get it spent down in the first 2 quarters so that funding can go out the door first. If there's a little bit left, it's a little bit left. After that money is, so the goal was, just to let you know, the goal was to keep the funding levels equal for this year. We have said that multiple times. We said that on a lot of different calls. So the first goal was to use the ARPA funds, which obviously we can't only use ARPA funds at one time. So we have ARPA funds allocated. We have 21 and 22 funding that we will work on. We have 23 funding allocated, and then we have general revenue allocated. I realize there's been some discussions on general revenue, and I just want to reiterate what occurred with general revenue. When the general revenue came in at $15 million, the goal of that funding was to keep the contracts at the current levels they are at, which is exactly what we're doing with it. So there's about $7.9 million allocated, and we're going to decrease it to about $5 million after we figure out how much 21 and 22 money is left. So you will get on your form, you'll get some movement on some of your money. We are in the process. I mean, it's now end of September is over, so middle of October, we should be getting invoices in for the rest of whatever happened last year, so we can figure out what is actually left of the funding for the previous years so that we can reallocate that money, look at what we have in general revenue, and look at what we can just kind of move back out of 23, because right now 23 is completely allocated. But once we determine how much is left, then we will bring that grant down a little bit. So just to be clear, ARPA first went to 105 agencies. There's 140 agencies total. So 35 agencies did not get ARPA. It's quite a numbers game with all of this, as many agencies there are, and making sure where we put the money at, because ARPA doesn't count in our federal reporting to ensure we still meet our buckets and all of the things that are necessary. 21 and 22 funding, if there is any left of that, which I'm sure there will be some money left somewhere, I imagine 21 should be pretty well gone, but we'll verify all of that. Patty, I'm accurate, right? 21 should pretty well be gone, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So 21 should pretty well be gone. So then we'll look at 22. We'll see what's left of that. Goal is to bring the general revenue allocation that we use down back to about $5 million and bring the 23 amount down too. So if you have 23 money and you have general revenue, it is very possible that you're going to get you're going to get notification that those amounts are moving around. This is not a new process. This is a process that we do every year just because of how the grants come in and how the grant awards come in. If there's questions on that, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll answer them a little bit later. But that's how the money looks for this year. We're trying to be very transparent with you on what money is where overall. So that's all I have on that. And like I said, I'll pick up the questions out of the chat if there are any. I have two other things, Patty. I'm going to let you run through the rest of this, and then I have two other items I'd like to talk about.
Okay. The next item is the fourth quarter reports. So fourth quarter has ended on 9/30. Those reports are due to us on October 30th. And then that gives us 15 days to get it into the federal system. Your fourth quarter report, your annual report, and your narrative are due to us. On your narrative, if you could leave that in the Excel format or a Word and send it to us that way, it makes it easier on us to enter that. We have to actually physically type every bit of that in for every agency. And it's kind of hard to do if you send it in a PDF. If you do, we will figure out a way to do it, but it is easier if we can have it in a Word document rather than that, because we are typing it in. VOCA invoices. Please make sure you're sending the VOCA invoices to the wnici.invoices@dss.mo.gov. There is an S on the invoice in that email address. Also, the data sheets, make sure you're sending those to the fsd.voca.unit@dss.mo.gov. Also, some things we've seen with fiscal audits. We've seen some fiscal audits that have gone out that if you are invoicing more in benefits than personnel for that month, they are going to give a finding on that. So please make sure you are invoicing more in personnel. So if your personnel is 80% charged to VOCA, then you cannot do more than 80% of your benefits to VOCA. If you have more questions on that, please feel to email me or call me with any questions and we can go through that.
Well, and Patty, I just wanted to reiterate to everybody, just make sure that your cost allocations are clean, and that if there's budget adjustments that you send them in. And so if 80% of your personnel costs are go to that, then 80% of that, 80% of fringe, like that's the maximum that like you could charge to the VOCA grant. But that's overarching. And your cost allocations, that's overarching everything from, you know, printers, computers, anything that is shared with any other program. Just make sure that you cost allocate it appropriately. I mean, that's even executive directors, that's any pieces or parts depending on what you have. Because I know a lot of you guys get DVSS money too. So just make sure you're real clean on that. I think that the errors that we have had have not necessarily been that the charges weren't accurate. It was just that some of the money got put into one of the line items just because that's how it was on the budget, and the budgets just should have been adjusted out. Thank you.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So October 19th is Wear Purple Days. It's called Purple Thursday. So we're encouraging everybody on the 19th to wear purple. Please feel free to send us pictures in your office, and we will too as well, of everybody wearing purple on that day. If you have any special events that you have coming up this month, if you want to send those in to us too as well, so we could send those out to everybody, that would be great. If you want to send those in, you can send those to the VOCA unit email address or your VOCA specialist.
And then if you want those events to go out on Gov Delivery, make sure you tell us that. I think there's like 162,000 subscribers right now, right around there. So if that's something that but we'll need that sooner than later. So if it's something that you're wanting like to go out next week or the week after, we need it ASAP if you want us to promote those events. If there's information that you think that people just need and we haven't shared it, you can send us that too, and we can share that.
Then we actually started, we were going to do the VOCA agency updates. So we were going to highlight some agencies each month. So I'll go through each one of those, and then we'll let them share a little bit about themselves. The first one is CASA Dunklin County. Maybe they're not on. If you're on CASA Dunklin County, you are on mute. You might need to unmute yourself. We'll go to Central Missouri, Stop Human Trafficking.
Hey, hi. So we provide direct services to victims of human trafficking here in Central Missouri. We're located in Columbia. We have a shelter in Jeff City, and we collaborate with RACS and a lot of other DV shelters to provide those exit services, safety planning, housing, whether it's emergency shelter, transitional, or help finding long-term independent housing, food and clothing. We provide transportation for everything they need to get to, which makes us really unique because it's hard to access services if you don't have a car and can't get there. So we're really proud of that aspect. We do have a big event coming up on October 14th we'll share with you. It is a global day of awareness for human trafficking. It is on Saturday, October 14th. And it is called the Walk for Freedom. And I will share that flyer out with you guys so you have it and can circulate it. It is a free event. We're asking everyone to get registered just so we can track numbers. For us, it's being held at Stevens Lake Park here in Columbia, Missouri. There's one down by the lake. There's one in Concordia. There's ones all over the country. So you can go to the website a21.com and find a walk near you. And as I said, registration is free. They invite you to buy a t-shirt. You don't have to. We encourage everyone to wear black in solidarity with survivors of human trafficking, and it will be a silent walk. So we'd love to see you out, whether it's in Columbia or a walk near you.
Thank you. The next one is Central Missouri Foster Care Coalition. Okay. We'll skip and go to Child Abuse Prevention Association. CAPA.
Hi, my name is Rochelle Parker and I'm with CAPA. CAPA has been around since 1975, primarily serving Eastern Jackson County, Missouri, which covers Independence as well as some of the other first ring suburban communities in the Kansas City area. We have 3 areas of service. One is our counseling services, where we serve victims of crime as well as just other children and families who've experienced family trauma, and that is accomplished in our offices as well as school-based and virtual now due to COVID. We also have been longtime partners of the Promise 1000 Collaborative here in Kansas City, where we provide home visiting services. We are a Healthy Families America site here in Jackson County, and then we do prevention education, where we teach body safety skills classes to students in the classroom, parenting classes, support groups and other groups like Strengthening Families. So we've been I think a longstanding partner of VOCA for over 20 years. It predates me. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you on the call today that we work with here in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and that's CAPA.
Thank you. I think Carla is on from Dunklin County. She's having some difficulty with sound. I was gonna see if she had her sound back and wanted to go.
Can you hear me
next.
now, Patricia?
I can, Carla. Yes,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
goodness. Okay, yes, I'm Carla Smith with CASA of Dunklin County. We are a small rural agency within the state located in the very southern boot heel of Missouri. We currently serve about 30 children that are in foster care. We have roughly 15 volunteers. Actually about 12 or 13 are very active, but we are constantly in recruitment to try to get new volunteers. We do have a new judge in the juvenile court system as of January 1, who is very supportive of the CASA program. We have a very strong community support. We have 2 major fundraisers each year. The first one for this fall will be coming up in December. We have an evening with CASA, and we have a fairly local orchestra ensemble that will provide entertainment. We have a catered meal, and we use this to get donations and funds to cover those expenses that aren't covered by the VOCA budget or the CASA budget. We have seen an increase in our referrals of foster children since the new judge has taken his court seat as of the 1st of January. So we're very enthused that we're going to be able to build our program. I am considered part-time, and then we have 1 full-time program director, and like I said, we just work on recruitment and community outreach.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you. All right, the next one is Christo's house. We'll go on to the CARDV. They on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, if you're talking, you cut
Okay.
out. There you go.
Okay, I think I'm off mute now.
Yeah.
So, my name is Erica Nanny, and I work at CARDV. It stands for the Coalition Against Rape and Domestic Violence of Callaway County. We primarily work with folks in Callaway County, and we are a non-residential agency in the fact that we do not have a shelter on site, but we do provide shelter through hotel and motel placement. We just have found that investing in our clients' long-term needs financially has worked out better. And of course, we rely heavily on the local shelter in town. We have a family shelter and all of the collaborations of the wonderful agencies in the surrounding counties like RACS and True North. So, but our mission, like, we try to consider our mission in everything that we do, every one of our services. And the core of it is to promote a client's personal safety, well-being, and self-sufficiency. So our services typically revolve around that. We do offer the 24-hour help and information line. We have of course, the standard crisis intervention and case management. We do offer trauma-informed counseling and EMDR. And we also contract with a local attorney to provide legal assistance and legal representation for difficult orders of protection, but also for divorce and custody when it can help the survivor's safety, long-term safety. So I was not prepared at all for this. I have to admit. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, or you can look us up on Facebook, Instagram, or our website is HallowayCardV.org.
Thank you, Erica. The next one is Citizens Against Spouse Abuse. How about Child Safe?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Shaver. I'm from Child Safe of Central Missouri. We currently support children in 11 different counties, which puts us in 5 different regions, which makes my job great. We also share 2 additional counties with 2 other CACs. We currently have a staff of 9 that are full-time and 1 part-time therapist. We see kids from the ages of 3 to 17 for abuse, neglect, and/or witnessing a crime. We also provide services to developmentally disabled individuals as well. If there's been a report on one of those. We also provide several different services, including forensic interviews, advocacy, education and outreach, and therapy. It's been a really busy time for us. We're all kind of running on fumes. We just wrapped up our first annual, or not our first, but our annual night of gratitude, where we invite all of our MDT members, our board, local funders, you know, that sort of thing. And we provide a meal, and we did a murder mystery, which was great. We really enjoyed seeing everybody come in their gangster attire from the 1920s. So that was awesome. We also finished our 2nd annual sports youth camp, which we host with the State Fair Community College. We've had a really great turnout, and the kids have really loved it. Later this month, we'll be handing out candy at the trunk or treat, as well as participating in a haunted hayride with our local Optimist Club. So we're looking forward to those. We're also, next week, we're going to do training to some of the students from UCM's Police Academy. This is the 2nd time that they've come to our facility. We kind of give them the background of what we do, as well as providing a tour and doing mock interviews so that they can kind of see how the process works when they get into the field. Let's see, on October 19th, we're having an MDT training event where a lot of our MDT members will be coming. We'll have prosecutors and police officers. Someone from Children's Mercy will be here to kind of walk MDT members through the process and why using a CAC is so imperative. We're also going to do a mandated reporter training for a local school district staff, as well as our education person is going into the schools to do the mandated comprehensive sex education. And then we're gearing up for our annual dessert auction, which will be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So lots to look forward to, lots of work yet to be done. So everybody have a good day.
Thank you. And the last one we have today is from Moxa.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Josh King. I'm the Vice President of Grants and Compliance at MOXA, the Metropolitan Organization to Counter Sexual Assault in Kansas City. We are a standalone rape crisis center serving the Kansas City region, and we were founded in 1975. Our Missouri service region includes Jackson, Cass, Clay, and Platte counties in Missouri. And 1 in 4 reported rapes in the state occurs in our service area. So we have currently a staff of 95 individuals and around 100 volunteers. Our VOCA services include our 24-hour crisis line, hospital advocacy, criminal justice advocacy, safety planning. We have counseling using 9 evidence-based, I think we're up to 11 evidence-based therapeutic models, so that's really exciting. And then we also do public awareness presentations to inform victims of their rights and services available. In the past several years, our agency has been focusing on underserved and disproportionately impacted communities, especially geographically isolated areas, including rural areas in our region. A few of the things that we're celebrating this month, of course, DV Awareness Month, sharing efforts with our partners in the community around that, Hispanic Heritage Month, LGBTQ History Month, Indigenous Peoples Day, and World Mental Health Day on October 10th. I'm also really excited to share that we have a partnership with KC Current, which is Kansas City's National Women's Soccer League team. And this Saturday, if you're a soccer fan, you happen to be watching, you may see MOXA highlighted during that game, so we're very excited about that. And then on Saturday, November 4th, I know it's just outside October, but we have our annual Night Out with MOXA, which is our 19th annual cocktail party and auction. So just a quick plug for that. And if anyone is interested in talking about collaboration or modalities or anything, I'd be happy to connect. So just reach out. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Josh. That is the end of our VOCA agencies. We will reach out within the next week to those 10 agencies for next month. That way you'll have a little bit more time to prepare than just the week we gave you this time. So we'll reach out. I'll try to have the team reach out to those 10 agencies next week for November. Jerry Ann, did you want to hop on with your last few things?
Yeah, I have a few things that I wanted to go over. There's a question in the chat about the GR funding, so I will go over that one more time. Right now, $7.9 million is allocated of general revenue. The appropriation is $15 million. The understanding for the funding was that we would keep funding at the current level. So it has never been our intention to use the entire allocation of funding unless it was needed to keep contracts at the current level. So what will happen is right now there's about $8 million out in GR and contracts. We plan to, once we figure out what is left over from this last year, we plan to make that amount around $5 million. And then just look at what money that we have. So that is the deal on the general revenue. I mean, we have appropriation authority in other programs that exceeds what the allocations will be too. I mean, like there was an amount put in there, but never ever was it intended to change the funding levels of the contract. That was meant to keep them stable. So, and so the other thing is I've got some questions on next steps and next year. We are in the process of finalizing our recommendations. After those recommendations are finalized, there will be conversations with the General Assembly. We will have a phone call with everybody to take all your comments on those recommendations. It is in proposal draft form right now. And so we will go over that at some point, be looking for that. It will be a separate call. It will not be on your monthly call because we anticipate that we will have a lot of comments on it, and we intend to capture all of those comments. The next thing is that just for training updates, I wanted to let you all know that on the training side, we are working to build out some robust trainings and platforms at social services. We had a phone call with OVC, Office of Victims Crime. We had a call with them. There's some technical assistance training that they will actually provide to us for free. So there's 4 of those that we can get in a year. They also have all kinds of access to other trainings. We are going to look at other states. And, you know, I don't know how far down the road we're going to get, but like right now, our first initial conversation in the last week was to do a very quick recorded training on how to complete federal forms. So you'll see us step it out over the next year, a little at a time. And you will get a chance to give us feedback on what else we need to do, because we do understand that there's like certain base that everybody needs, and then there's some training being provided in other arenas. And our intention over the next year is just to take a deep dive into training and see what that looks like. And so we do plan to take some trainings from other states and kind of just use that training and make it from Missouri. So our last conversation with the technical assistance folks that actually work for our OVC is for us to provide a list of training potentially that we need, and we will get feedback, like I said, the types of providers that we have, and then they said they'd start giving us some resources. The next thing I have is that I would like the new staff to introduce themselves on our team. So Ryan, I'm going to have you go first.
All right. My name is Ryan Stifler. I think I've been here now 2 weeks with VOCA units. Have about 15 years law enforcement experience, where I served as a domestic violence investigator and then general investigations, and I'm excited to be with the VOCA unit.
Thank you, Ryan. Julie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Miranda. I have now been with VOCA for about 3 weeks, almost 4. So learning all the new things, have really enjoyed getting to know my agencies. I come from the nonprofit world and the children's division world. I have a expertise in human trafficking and working with vulnerable populations. And yeah, that's me.
All right, we're glad to have both of them. The next thing that I have one more thing, Patty, there was a comment in here on somebody asked about reports and putting them in an Excel document. Is there a way that you want agencies to submit information? If so, then I think we just say that this is how information needs to be submitted.
So the quarterly reports are sent out. They're in Excel form. They have to sign them. That's why they usually sign them. If you can get a signature on them in the Excel form, that's great. And send it back to us in the Excel. I assume that's why most people turn it into a PDF to make sure they get the signature on it and scan it in and send to us. That part is fine to scan in. If we can just get the narrative part in either Word or Excel, that is helpful.
Okay, we'll get some guidance out on what that kind of looks like. I'm not sure why we have to have a signature, so you and I will talk more. Okay. If you have not, please put your name and your agency in the chat. I think that was all the comments.
There's one comment in there from Diamond Diva Empowerment. In there, it's really a statement. It's not a question.
Okay. What is it? I don't see it.
So sure. Nope, it says on April 4th, 2023, the executive team of Diamond Diva Empowerment Foundation was invited to the Missouri Capitol in Jeff City, Missouri. Executive team member Brandy Jelk spoke to the panel with explanation of crisis at hand and at the need for more domestic violence awareness. As a result, the House panel voted unanimously to approve House Bill number 434, sponsored. Sorry, I lost my spot. Why does it keep jumping?
Oh, that's my fault. That's my fault. I'm messing with it. That's completely my fault. I was trying to see if we had everything.
Why does it keep jumping
Okay.
on me? So it was sponsored by
Hang on.
Chantel Nixon Clark.
What? If Diamond Divas is on the call, why don't they just tell us what happened?
Sure.
Sorry, Patty.
Yes,
You can
I'm
give that
here.
to me in my upward feedback on how terrible I am at this chat function here.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Okay. Yes. Well, she was basically talking, speaking. I just wanted to make the announcement that one of our executive directors, Ms. Brandy Jelk, she spoke with the panel with an explanation of the crisis at hand and the need for more domestic violence awareness in our city. And as a result, the House panel voted anonymously to approve House Bill 434, which was sponsored by Chantel Nixon Clark. And basically, this House bill declares the third Saturday of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Day for the state of Missouri. Unbeknownst to me, I never knew that this didn't already exist, but I'm so excited about this day. As a result, this is the day that we always use for our rally walk here in St. Louis, which is October the 21st. But I just really wanted to say that let everyone know that as of August, we have the bill signed. It is House Bill 434, which actually declares the third Saturday of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Day for the whole state of Missouri. Thank you.
Thank you for
All right.
sharing
Well,
that.
that worked out just fine. Okay. So there's another comment, and I won't move it up and down. I have my cursor on it. Patty?
Says, will there be any update or discussion concerning the recommendation to the DOJ
Not that one. Not that one. The one above it.
on above it?
It says, what was the name of the shelter that the first speaker spoke about?
Oh, she was speaking about Child Safe of Sedalia.
Okay, now I'm going to move down. Will there be any update or discussion concerning the recommendations to the DOJ concerning the next round of application? I don't know what that means. If you're on, can you clarify what that question is? Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I think that wraps it up. As always, thank you all for everything that you're doing. I hope you find these updates useful. As we said some months ago, our goal is to increase communication to the entire group of VOCA providers, and just to let you all know what's going on here with one voice. And we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. You'll have everyone have a great day.
Don't stop it yet, Patty.
Come in.
You can share it down. Make sure that you guys come over.